All right, welcome back to the Parallel Reels podcast, where we give movies their moments. And we review two new movies every week. We got a special edition for y'all today. We're gonna get into the biggest flops that should have never been flops in cinema.
Yes, sir.
So, Dex, you can take it off. Pause.
Appreciate you one more time. You say pause. I'm weak. Hey, it's your boy 47 Dax again. Like he said, welcome back to Parallel Real. To me, I feel like a movie that flopped, that I don't believe should have flopped, was Blade Runner 2049. And I'm just gonna go into a little bit of why I feel like it flopped, and like why I also feel like it deserves like redemption, because the movie was very well shot, you know, but it was well shot. The storyline was beautiful as well to me. But obviously, when we check the scores, or I said the scores, the numbers at box office, they didn't profit. So obviously, it flopped in the the general view. So I feel like the reason why it flopped, I believe, like the marketing, right?
Mm,
Because the trailer made it seem very fast paced.
okay.
Like it made it seem like it was gonna be an action movie.
Right.
When in reality, when we got into the movie, it was very slow paced. It felt like Martian, like chill, like just like how Martian was. Like the colors were beautiful,
Mm,
the framing was beautiful, composition was beautiful, shot selection was beautiful, angles were beautiful, actors were beautiful. Like everything was so well put together with Blade Runner 2049. But again, when we got into the box office, it didn't perform well, and I feel like it had to do with marketing a lot because people were going into the movie expecting maybe action packed, and we didn't get that. I feel like another reason too was obviously the original one wasn't a big hit as well, so maybe it carried over to this one because it probably left a bad taste in
right.
people's mouth, like the wasn't good. So I don't believe the remake is gonna be as good anyway. So what's the point? Which I'm gonna disagree because it was very sci-fi, and I feel like it's probably one of like the best sci-fi movies that I've watched in recent years. So I don't believe that. And also, we had a main character that wasn't really a main character, which was Harrison Ford, because it was in the trailer, so people assume, oh, we're gonna see him a lot in this
Yeah.
movie,
He
which
was
like
barely in it.
Brave New World with or Hulk, and like he was barely in that one. So maybe people are also disappointed because like, oh, he's my favorite actor. I'm gonna go watch this movie because
Right.
of him, and you don't really get to see him. So now you're like, it's whatever. Bad
Right.
review. So
Uh,
now
the,
it's
the
giving other people bad taste too as well.
the funny thing about that movie is, like you said, I definitely thought. I remember when it was coming, I was really excited for it because it looked like it was going to be super action packed. A lot of things going on at once, and you know, I figured it was going to be like Ryan Gosling versus Harrison Ford, something
Yes.
like that. But that was not really what the movie was about. What I think about Blade Runner 2049, I think they were trying to start a franchise with this one. I think this movie was supposed to be like the one that would set the stage, but it did so, it didn't do as well as they expected. They were like just scrapped the whole idea. And it's been a few years. It's been a while since that movie came out. What year did that come out again?
I feel like it's 2019, but let me double check. Give me a second.
Uh,
2017.
Damn, it came out 2017.
Yeah, 2017. That's crazy.
Yeah. And to this day, like, there's never been any update on what's the continuation of this series, this saga. And also, I think the same thing happened with the original, where when it first came out, it wasn't really widely respected, and it didn't do well in the at the
Wow.
box office. But it became like a to a lot of people, 2049 is like a cult classic too, because of mainly that cinematography. It was just like amazing. It was beautiful. So you know,
And
we'll watch them wait another 20 years to make another one again.
they gonna call it 3049.
3049.
And I'm gonna kind of go off what you're saying, and I feel like that's why it deserves a redemption because like visually, it was incredible, bro. Because to me, like every shot felt like a painting,
Right.
like Picasso put his brush to it, like just watching it, you get that sense of wow, is this a movie?
Yeah.
Like how are they creating these like shots? How are they creating these visuals? And like obviously, thanks to the legendary like cinematographer Roger Deakins, who also shot your favorite movie, 1917,
Oh yeah.
which speaks for itself when it comes to the cinematography as well. And another great director who's done Dune, which is I'm probably gonna say his name wrong. He's French, like Denis or Dennis, but French movie saying Denis Villeneuve. So I'm probably saying it wrong. Who was also a great, great, great director. So the storyline it flowed beautifully, man. And like obviously the original was a classic, so usually remakes don't really get on that same level
Right.
as a classic. And I feel like this was either like on the same level or even surpassed it when it comes to the cinematographer side of it or like the visual side of it, the storytelling side of it. So I feel like to me, this was better than the original, which I rarely say that about remakes. So that's why I also feel like it deserves uh, a redemption.
Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with you there because the original one, there's a lot going on in the original one that I just like. I There's some scenes I was like, what's actually going on in this scene? Like the one from the
Pretty attention.
'80s, it was really strange. Which is leads me into my own choice for uh, this category that we're working on. Edge of Tomorrow, um, which is I would say it's probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies. Uh, that came out in 2014. It was a flop, like not like box office wise, but like critically. A lot of people were tired of Tom Cruise apparently at this point, and also the movie was about it's literally like Groundhog Day in a sci-fi sense. So uh, Tom Cruise's character, Major William Cage, just keeps dying and waking up, keeps dying and waking up, keeps dying. It goes throughout the whole movie, but it sounds really redundant and kind of repetitive, but it was actually really, really cool and it was interesting. It was very, very like, I mean, critics loved it. It has 91% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a
Oh,
fun
wow.
movie to watch, and also, but the problem is they just like um the marketing for 2049 was like super action packed and all of that. It was action packed, but they didn't let people know it was going to be like a time sequence. Like things were going to be going back in time, going forward in time. There was a lot of time concepts. If you came into the movie think it's going to be like a sci-fi war movie that like the way they marketed it, you would be kind of like left confused and disappointed. And
Yeah.
also, it was called Edge of Tomorrow. It really didn't make any sense, the title, and the studio uh, started adding Live Die Repeat as the unofficial title. It's even bigger on the DVDs, the Blu-ray, even on streaming. So
Marketing was just confusing people.
yeah, it was confusing people. Yeah,
And I understand why trailers do what they do. Obviously, they're trying to grab your attention.
right.
But that's why whenever I see like, especially right now with Marvel, when I see a trailer, I'm like, I'm not gonna get excited. The trailer comes out, you're like, man, this is about to be the best movie ever. And then you go watch it, and you're like, man, this is not what I came here for. So like you're expecting one thing, and then you get delivered, something else.
Right.
So So yeah, and I agree with you because a lot of people were tired of Tom Cruise around that time with action movies because like he was
Yeah.
probably like what Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Mission Impossible. And he also had another movie called Oblivion, which I enjoyed that movie. Oblivion is very, very similar to Edge of Tomorrow. Like, there's, and also they came out within very, very short periods of each other. And also trying to explain like Groundhog Day time loop concept
Yeah.
in like a trailer, like a 2 minute trailer, is low key kind of impossible. So
I also feel like Tom Cruise does not get the respect he deserves, man. I feel like we
espe-
overlook him.
especially within the action uh genre,
'Cause
he
he
does a
does
lot
a
of his
lot of
own
his.
stunts. Yeah, and he's getting. That's why I think he's about to like cool it on the action movies because I think he's like 60 now or something like that. Yeah,
Bro, I heard he's about to come to Marvel and play Iron Man, like the variant of Iron Man.
that'd be. I thought that was just a rumor.
That's what I'm not. I don't know if it's like confirmed or not, but that's what I heard.
That would be awesome. I think that would be fire.
We
If
dope.
he plays Ultimate Iron Man, that's his name, right? The
Yeah.
arrogant Iron Man, the evil Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's the role that's made for Tom Cruise right there. Oh my god, he would kill that shit. What?
But as a 60-year-old, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But he is doing his own stunts for the last Mission Impossible movie that he's gonna be in.
Okay,
We'll see.
that was another good franchise.
And also, it would have been cool if this became a franchise as well. If they had sequels for Edge of Tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure everybody was like, "What the hell did I just watch?" After they Edge of Tomorrow. What is the Edge of Tomorrow? They never really explained the title even. Like,
You being lived, I repeat.
yeah, that would have been better as a title for real.
Why do you feel like it deserves like a redemption?
Because the concept was really really dope. Taking the Groundhog Day, reliving the same thing over and over in a future like space sci-fi war is really dope. Like I thought it was really dope, and he played the character very very well. And you, I know people actually enjoyed the movie. They just didn't know what it was really about before they got there, and the title was ambiguous as well.
It having 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, like
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like it did. Was that
yeah.
the critic side? Like the audience get?
Critically, critically, it has 91% by the critics. Let's see what the people got to say about it.
Probably like 88,
Yeah, which is still pretty high.
probably 88 or something, man. Hey man, shout out to my nephew for giving me this Stanley Brave New World cup, man. Bro,
W's.
I was just chilling at home. I go check my mailbox, and he called me. He's like, Uncle Dex. No, he don't say Uncle Dex, but I'm not gonna say my real name on here. He said, Uncle Dex, I got you something. He went to go see Brave New World because he knows I love Marvel. He loves Marvel too. We watch Marvel all the time. So he's like, hey, it was a good movie. So here. I'm like, man, I'm about to drink out of this water. I say out of this water, out of this cup every day. I'm about to be like,
W's for your nephew. W's in the chat.
I'm about to be like those girls, those Stanley girlies.
Oh, that's an actual Stanley.
I don't know. It says Stanley on it. I don't know if it meant like Stan Lee or Stanley. No, no, not the cup. It was like a picture thing around that said Stanley.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, okay. 91%. Oh, jeez. By critics, 90%.
And it flopped.
I mean, it covered the budget, but it didn't like. So it made 100.2 million domestic in U.S. and Canada, 269 million internationally, so for a total of 369.2 million on a $178 million budget. It wasn't a total disaster, but it wasn't like a big hit that Warner Brothers
Yeah.
like. They put a lot of money into it to like make it
Yeah.
like a
For
new
91
franchise.
for 91%, I feel like they should have made more. That's the same thing with Blade Runner. It went 88% on both critics and audience.
I
And I
sometimes I
don't.
wonder what the studios like benchmarks are. Sometimes, especially Warner Brothers. Anyways, Warner Brothers is a who knows what they're doing. They're a lost studio right now. But shout out to the
Hey,
shout out to the best studio right now.
A24,
A24 man,
bro, they are taking over,
they're
bro. Like
killing it,
every movie
killing it,
so far, bro. I'm like, this feels real.
bro. And also, it's just even just the way they shoot their movies. But that's a story for another day. That's a topic for another day. We could get into the depth of A24 cinematography. I think that could be a whole episode.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
They doing their thing, man. But yeah, I think with Edge of Tomorrow, I think the action like pack scene was shot like beautifully.
Oh yeah.
Like it was very interesting
Oh yeah.
because I feel like nowadays like we don't really get those type of actions like we
Mm.
did back then. I feel like I put it in like that same category, maybe a tier lower, like the Civil War, like type of action, like pack film. So
Like when you say Civil War, like a specific Civil War movie, or like
like Marvel, like
oh,
the
okay,
fighting.
okay, okay. I see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're saying. And also,
Or
I love the way they do a lot of POV in the
yeah,
scenes for the war and like fighting. You feels like you're the one that actually you're actually Tom Cruise. I thought that was really dope.
and was it which one was Bucky fighting Captain America? Was it it wasn't the first event.
That was Civil War,
Winter,
huh?
Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah. Oh, you like
When
those?
yeah, like that type of action, like
Isn't that's the movie where they first introduced Black Panther? Correct.
no, Civil War is when they introduced Black Panther. But
Okay.
remember, Captain America, Winter Soldier. That's when Bucky was fighting Steve Rogers because he was under like the
The
hypnosis
Hydra.
thing.
Okay. 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 I
Yeah.
see. I wonder if would Edge of Tomorrow be as good as could be in the as be in that realm of some of the best time loop movies ever. Is there any other time loop movies that you know other than Groundhog Day?
Is it any what movie?
Time loop.
Time Loop. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's by Joey Badass. It was on Netflix. It was like a short film.
Oh yeah, that's why he won a Grammy. I mean not a Grammy, an Emmy or something or Tony.
Where it was like
I think Two
Stranger.
Strangers, the two distant strangers.
Yeah. So when you say that, that's like the first thing that
Yeah,
came to mind. Which I mean, I'm a big Joey fan. I've been listening to him since like 2015. Rest in peace, Capital Steez.
yeah.
Uh, Watching that, it was dope, man, because like he just got tired of it because he remembers it, but nobody else remembers it. So he was trying to like beat time, but he couldn't.
That's literally what Edge of Tomorrow is. That's very, very. That's a good point. I like how you connected those two movies. That's really, really good. That's dope. I didn't even think about that at all. I need to. I've never actually watched that.
Oh, you gotta watch it, man. I think it was like 30 minutes or an hour, and
I told
it
myself I'd never watch it because
why?
I don't like police violence movies. I don't like it.
It's not really police violent though. It's
But
not.
isn't he getting killed by a police officer every single time?
Not every single time. So I watched it a while ago, so I might get it wrong. I think in the beginning, other things happened that him, but I think when he got closer to the end, that's when the cop got involved. So let's say the first 5 minutes he got involved with something else, and then he tried to the next time he looped around, he tried to skip what killed him the other time, and then he ended up in the cop's hands. So
Okay, I'm gonna give that a watch for sure then. Because
he's
what?
just trying to like he was just trying to escape what had happened previously,
Mm,
but then it ended up being in a rabbit hole more in a rabbit hole. So it just
okay.
kept getting. See, this is why when people say they want to know what happens in the future, I'm like no, because then like you're kind of hindering your path
Yeah,
or hindering
yeah. And also, like your present will be like anxious. You're always trying to find a way to like avoid something.
exactly, which is like maybe you need to go through that thing to get to that future. But now that you know that future, you're not gonna go through that present day. So guess what? That future isn't gonna happen.
Damn. Damn. You might have just dropped a fact right there, bro. That's some real shit.
So man, it's
I
a
was,
it was a good short film, man.
yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Well, that's all we have for you. We got a quick one for y'all today. A quick deep dive into the biggest flops that should have never been flops.
Shout out 2049.
Shout that movie was beautiful, but I don't know if I like it like that. I don't know if I have the same type of feeling that you have for this movie.
I think even just not paying attention to the storyline, bro, just the visuals,
Visually, yeah.
just like your attention. And it's crazy. Okay, so before I even watched this movie, there was like a meme, not a meme, like a viral audio on social media, and I'm like, oh, where's this coming from? And I finally watched the movie, and I'm like, oh, this is where it came from, and it was like
Mm,
the hologram girl, and she's
yeah.
like, "You look lonely. I can fix that."
I can fix that.
But hey, man,
Uh,
appreciate you guys for tuning in with
Yes,
Parallel Real.
sir.
Every Tuesday, we're gonna come right at you. Please don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, and please let us also know what your favorite movie that flopped, that shouldn't have flopped, and if you want to tell us why, we'd appreciate that. It's your boy 47 Dex.
And Dirty Boy James O.